Oh, welcome back to another great episode of Two Cigars and a Blunt. Of course, you know I am the man on the street.
It's Tim Dog from Be More Careful.
Paula
Oh,
from Talk Shit Whippy.
Oh yeah, as you can see, we're back and we're missing a couple of members, but we're here. And we're gonna try this thing tonight. It's been a hectic week, but like we
mm,
always like to do before we start our podcast, we got to ask the pound how was their day. So Miss Paula, how was your day?
Oh my God, I get to go first today. Damn.
Mhm.
I
Um,
know you always last and everything else.
right? I like it longer. I'm just saying. But anyways,
Mm.
my day was amazing. Friday flew by fast. The next thing I know, it was 7 p.m. and I'm getting an email to be on here, and I'm like, the fuck. But it was a
Mm.
good day.
I like to hear that. What about you, Tim Doll?
Man, I was setting up for my travels, about to go visit my son and my grandson, then go stay with my mom for her birthday. Boy, I can't wait. Can't wait.
All right. And
Been a
then you're gonna hang
minute.
out with Miss Paula P in Baltimore.
Oh Lord,
Yeah,
I'm gonna run her over in Baltimore.
Baltimore.
Tim, you know you're excited. You ready with your pen and book for me to sign autograph and shit. Don't worry.
A blank check for you,
Yeah, ladies
son.
and gentlemen.
That's
Yeah.
about
With
it.
them knuckles.
As you can see, yeah, we're back. We're not fully back. You know, the Mad Professor's not on tonight. Neither is Pharaoh King or Conspiracy Brother. But hey, I know Pharaoh's having internet problem, just like I am. But you know, I had to use my hotspot on my phone. I'm waiting to see this bill. Oh my God, this bill gonna be humongous. And that's how my day is going. No power since last week. Finally got it back. I believe Tuesday night. Tuesday night. Got back in town Wednesday. So before we go on, I want to say thank you to my brother-in-law and his wife, Ivina, for having me in town, having me and my family in town, my
Man,
grandkids, my daughter. You know, it's good to have family where you could run to when you're in a time of need. And so I want to say congratulations. I want to say thank you to them for opening up their homes to us because
mm,
some family members won't do that for other family members. But hey, when you got family like that, they won't let you fall. So I
yeah.
would drop a bomb, but my bomb is acting crazy lately. There it goes again. All right.
You should also drop a bomb. You should also drop a bomb for yourself because using your hotspot to make
Yeah.
sure you jump in on live, that's commitment right there to your baby. So
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah, that's right. Let me drop see if it work. I don't
Oh,
know if
there
y'all
you
hear
go.
That,
that.
that looks like a
There you
short
go.
ass fart. Like,
no, it sounds like you crushing a plastic bottle.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So, so to get this show started, like I said, we don't have no set format tonight. We just gonna have a good time. And I saw this, and I want us to talk about this a little bit. Miss Paula, I know you not originally from here. You're from the great country of Tanzania, but this guy is part of our childhood, and he just passed. So I want us to talk a little bit about him as well.
Oh,
John Amos, known for his role as the father figure on the popular 1970s sitcom Good Times, has passed away at the age of 84. He was also recognized with an Emmy nomination for his performance in the influential 1977 miniseries Roots.
We're just learning beloved actor John Amos has died. His publicist says Amos died August 21st of natural causes here in Los Angeles. His storied career began as Gordy the Weatherman on The Mary Tyler Moore Show, but he played the hardworking father James Evans in Good Times. He was nominated for an Emmy for playing an older Kunta Kinte in Roots, and he was an owner of a McDonald's-like hamburger chain in Coming to America. Later in life, Amos would play the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff on TV's The West Wing. John Amos has died at the age of 84.
Have it, ladies and gentlemen. John Amos, you know, and I keep calling the man James Evans. I know the man named John Amos, but I'm calling him
yeah.
James Evans. So, Miss Paul, I'm gonna go to you first. Do you know about John Amos, or seen any of his movies at all?
oh hell yeah! Me and my
Okay,
dad are
then.
big fans of The West Wing. I've watched Good Times. I actually very much love him, and it's a sad thing, but a funny thing is you can't escape death, right? So
That's
sometimes
correct.
when people are at a certain age, you're like, well, at least they live that long, because we keep losing people who are also young. I'm not saying older is better, but at least they've had enough life, compared to when you lose a younger soul who's still, because we are all heading there, whether you want to accept it or not. We're all dying. There's no escaping that shit. But he was really, for me, a person like me, he wasn't the TV father, but he was the TV grandfather, So no.
You trying to say we old as hell or something?
No, I'm saying, he's 84 and my actual dad is 60, so kind of, it's not like I'm being, but we were blessed to have a grandfather like him on TV, so
I'm just messing with you.
Your thoughts on Tim Dog.
Don't be starting shit you can't put out. I'm just saying.
Hey. Fucking with a heavyweight. Ain't no easy win. But I remember when I was young, watching Good Times on television. And I believe it came on a Tuesday. I was always into television when I was younger, especially PBS. But I didn't know he was on Mary Tyler Moore until my wife started watching those shows. And I was like, man. And then I started researching and I was like, wow, he and on the show, he left and got a better job and would make regular appearances on Mary Tyler Moore. But he lived a private life. I mean, he died in August, and I remember watching a special, I want to say Netflix or something, and he was on it. This was like right after he passed, and his kids were on there too. And he was saying that they were saying that he didn't want the public to know what was going on with him, and that's why he stayed out of the public eye. He didn't really do movies, things like that, because he just wanted to be a regular person. But I think he also did poetry, if I'm not mistaken. So the man was gifted. The man was talented.
Yeah, he's very gifted. A lot of people know that he actually played college football. So he had that background. And I spent all day yesterday. Excuse me. I spent all day yesterday watching Roots. Man, I watched all episode of Roots yesterday. Just to
I haven't watched that one. I don't like sad shit. I don't like sad historical shit. Like I'm already a depressed bitch, right? I don't need any more things that are going to depress me.
No, but Roots over the odds to genealogy, and people started tracing their heritage and stuff. And so it was important back then.
I get the part of that, but it's also too much sad shit that I don't want to fucking deal with personally. Me personally. I feel like I know my roots. I'm African. We know our roots, baby. That's a Black American thing to figure out their roots.
That is true, but one thing about Roots is that yes, it is a sad situation, but you get the story about his family and the journey that as Haley family went through, and then that's what I say, right?
Yeah, you said it. No, I was just repeating after you. That's all. No, you were right, man on the street. I'm sorry. Let me shut the fuck up.
And that's why I like stories, because I can come here and you guys can share those stories. I don't have to watch it. I can skip a clip of it, but I can come and you guys share stories and I listen and I learn. There's different ways of learning. You don't always have to necessarily watch to learn.
Hey. Oh my goodness.
Some people don't watch porn and they still know how to do the damn thing. So I'm just saying.
Yeah. But it's just one of those movies that I did watch yesterday. Yeah, I did, man. I broke my headphones a while ago. I got to go with my other ones. But until then, I'm gonna make this motherfucker
put some tape on it. Get the gorilla glue.
Yeah, I did. But head got bigger. That's what it was.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
but like I was saying about that, and then of course one of my favorite movies, Coming to America. Playing the dad, and what's the other one? Sidney Poitier and oh my God, what's his name? The father from the Cosby Show, Bill Cosby. Uptown Saturday Night. I think that's what it is, or it's either Uptown Saturday Night. No, Let's Do It Again. That's what it is. That's do it again.
With Jimmy Walker.
That's just right. And he plays who?
Yeah.
He plays Biggie Smalls. He plays Biggie Smalls in that goddamn movie. You see what I'm saying?
And that's where he got his name from.
That's right. Biggie Smalls. So that's what I'm saying. Just seeing that this brother has died. But my thing is, I don't actually, I know he's a private man, But do you think it's kind of fishy, Miss Paul? I'm asking you this question first. That the family would say that he passed on August the 21st and put out the news damn near what 10 days later?
Not really, because sometimes, especially when somebody is famous, right? You start getting so consumed with online, even though you can say ignore it or anything, but it becomes too much because everybody now is talking their shit. Everybody is sharing their suspicions. Everybody's sharing. So when you come out, you have to either come out with like full entire details that you're not giving the public even one different suspicion, because everybody makes up minds like, oh, they didn't say what the cause is. He must have died drug addict. He must have died this, So sometimes people just want peace, and especially him, knowing him, his entire life, like sometimes we forget to even exist because he really isn't in the limelight. So you wouldn't. It's to me, I don't think it's any suspicious, because if a person already had that kind of lifestyle and tried as much to stay away, the family was just making sure that by the time they put it out there, because you can't take it back once it's out there, and you can't escape how the world will react and choose to say. So you have to be mentally, not only physically but mentally prepared for all that shit.
I got you. What about you, Tim Dell? Your thoughts?
I agree with him. I mean, he was private and he was proud, and that was one of the reasons why he didn't appear on the last season of Good Times, because he wanted more pay, because he was already an established actor, and he wanted not just for him but for the other cast. And by him stirring up that pot, they just wrote him off the cast, and he survived that. He started doing plays, doing things like that. But he was a proud person. But I think when that situation happened, he decided that, you know what, fuck media, fuck Hollywood. I'm gonna be me and do me, and they don't need to know what the hell I'm doing. And to me, that the family just honoring those wishes. I mean, all those years of him being private and reclusive.
I got you. Oh, good. The Alchemist. Oh, here we go.
Oh,
With
Lord.
conspiracy brothers.
You're not an alchemist if you only make Kool-Aid.
What's going on, conspiracy
Anybody worry
brother? I
about
know we
you?
got you kind of late. We're gonna see how it goes. So, before you talk
okay.
about John Amos, how was your day, my brother?
Oh man, it's beautiful. I'm alive. Shit.
Walking with a
I'm
dog
here.
and shit.
No, I
You
got
don't have a dog.
You're
He
right.
was
I
walking
don't,
with
but
some dog. That's all I know. There was a dog. A
I
white
was walking the
mini.
other day, and the goddamn dog he decided to start walking with me.
Yeah, I got you.
We went walking for like 20 minutes together, and his ass finally went back home. He knew where he was going. Shit.
No,
His ass go
a
home.
random dog.
no, he was just sniffing what you had on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I bet he might
Yeah,
have
there
felt
you
your
go.
energy. He might have felt your
Sometimes,
energy and felt as though he need that energy.
no, he
Yeah,
was
there you
That
go.
protecting
boy,
him
he
because
wants to roll
the
with the
dog
boy.
just appeared and then didn't even want shit from him. It was just like leading and then disappeared. I was like, okay, some king shit
Okay,
over there,
I
They
got you. I
just
got you.
someone follow me.
Yeah.
He said he's an all right guy.
All right, but what we talking about? What we talk about right now is John Amos. I put it back up again. A lot of people were saying, because even Esther Rose, she even said that she brought the black father to television, because usually you didn't see a black father in television shows back in the day, especially a father that lived in the home. You put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Even though
yeah.
that the way that he raised raised his kids, that's how I was raised, with a stern parent, a stern stepfather, uncles, type figures. So what are your thoughts on John Amos that just passed recently, conspiracy brother?
It's a sad situation when somebody passes, but we know it's coming. And he had a great life, a lot of TV shows. Like I said, he was a stern father figure, which a lot of people back in that time didn't have. So they got to see some type of role model in the home. So, it's a shame that he's passed, but he had a great career, a great life, and we appreciate him for what he did.
Okay, let me ask you this. So he died on August the 21st, and I already asked Ms. Paula P, and I already asked Tim Dahl. do you think it is kind of funny that they didn't announce that he passed on that day, but they waited until damn near what, 2 weeks or 3 weeks after to announce that he passed? Damn near a month. Yeah, a month. Yeah, a month.
That's pretty strange that, hold on.
Okay, get it right.
She did that before you got on the show.
Get it right.
I was by my neighbors and was chilling, having a few drinks.
Yeah.
I got you. Get it right.
Then he go, damn, the podcast.
I'm gonna give you my opinion why you get it right. I'm gonna give you my opinion.
Yeah, because I forgot the goddamn question.
Yeah,
that's a damn shame.
The question is, he died on August the 21st, but they waited a whole month because I forgot about September. He's in October. They waited a whole month to put it out. I understand that, yeah, he was a private man, but there was people saying that, hey, there was some type of foul play, because they say before that he had died, then they came back and say, no, he didn't die. But now they come to find out he actually did pass. So to me, that's why I asked the question. I'm not saying that anything happened to him in a bad way, somebody caused his death, but it does sound fishy, conspiracy brother.
Fishy.
Yeah, that definitely does, unless they had some legal entanglements that they was trying to avoid or get together to announce this. But yeah, usually when somebody died, people know fairly quickly. So it might be some shady shit. They might have had to clone him, get his clone together before
But
they.
how many news do you hear quickly about John Amos? I think sometimes you have to look at the person as well.
Well, I'm just saying,
because if it was Diddy or somebody else or Khalid or something, when shit happens, we hear right away. And then if it took a month, you'll be like, come on, you tell us every shit, even the shit we don't want to know. But then with John Amos, as I said, I thought that nigga dead long time ago. No offense, but I mean, he ain't. He did not just shush his kids.
Yeah, I understand that, but like I say, the second part I wouldn't ask about John Amos, but we're gonna move on though. Especially now, the black father in the home, because he was basically the first black father that a lot of people saw that was stern, and nowadays you can't be that type of father if you're in the household at all, especially if y'all not married or y'all not together. And you trying to be that father figure not in the household. So what are your thoughts, Tim Dawg? Yeah, so Tim Dawg, so what are your thoughts on the black father role as it pertains to how we raise our kids today?
Most people change the way that they discipline or raise their kids because the way they were raised. Either I'm not going to raise my kids like that, or I'm going to treat my kids just like my parents did me. So, I mean, it just depends on the person. Me, I was a stern dad, but I didn't have to discipline my kids, like, whip them or anything like that, because they already understood the fear that I instilled in them. But it's definitely not the same. It's not, and I think it's just due to the social aspect of spare the rod, spoil the child.
What's good?
No, fuck that.
Okay.
No, you good. You good. I'll say whip that ass and maybe get them in line, and you won't have no problems.
Okay.
When they
Now,
young,
assholes
not
don't
when they
change
older.
problems.
No, not always. And you're right. You're true about that. Because like I said, I didn't have to do that to my kids. But at a young age, I taught them, what to do, what not to do. Especially when it comes to lying, stealing, and things like that. And I show them, what could happen to you. Like I said, still the fear of God.
Okay, Ms. Paul, I'm gonna ask you this question. What your father was in your life. So what would you take from the way that your father raised you, when the lesson that you would teach your children, that father figure, how would you adapt that into your life when you do decide that you do want to have kids, right? I don't know. Do you have them hide someplace? You might be trying to hide them and tell us anything.
You gonna find out.
She keep moving. But
you're gonna find out when I die.
okay.
Depending on how long they hold the news. Depending on how long they hold the news. But
So my question is,
Lord.
what would you take from your father that you will hope that the father of your children would be? Does it make sense? The question I'm trying to ask you.
yeah,
Or
but
maybe I
first
need to
let
try
me
to reword it.
let me make sure that people know this. Like I like
Okay.
how we always ask the question father figure or whatever, but I feel like we also need to talk so much as well about absent mothers, because there are some people who were raised and had very attentive fathers and didn't have that from the mothers. So I feel like that should one day be a conversation to be had, because I get tired, especially on Father's Day, when people still keep wishing happy Mother's Day, because they act like only mothers can do this shit, and it's not all that true. So and it's especially since mothers have two Mothers Day, the UK one and the American world one, and then fathers they only have one day, and you'll take it away from them because they're good fathers out there, including my dad. But also back to your question, there's
That's
a
right,
reason
Mr.
I
Talk
still
Shit. It's good.
Go ahead, Miss Paula.
and do you realize I haven't said the F word yet through all
It's
this
coming though.
time? But
It's
I still
coming.
haven't. If you had your vodka bottle today, you would have still not have opened it right now. Like I'm just
I
saying,
got you.
let's put that in mind.
I got you.
But there's a reason why I am not yet a mother. Not because I don't want to, but it's because of all these niggas out here. No offense. For some reason, men are just cheaters. They're destined to be cheaters. And I am very picky and particular with somebody who I'm going to have a child with, because I grew up in a very non-stable home from the very beginning. And when they say, most people think that kids don't understand, kids don't hear, but we do. And that's why when our parents finally had the conversation with us about the divorce, me and my brother were like, okay, cool. No, we don't need therapy. We're actually excited this shit is happening, because we hear the arguments, we hear the fighting, we see the things that are done. People underestimate the power of the child and what they can see, and
They
that memory
do
stays forever, especially when
comprehend.
those memories, the things we see when we are kids, they're the hardest shit to ever go. You might not remember what you did 2 days ago, but you might remember the shit you saw when you were 1 year old. Like, it's ridiculous. So to me, I've always been very aware that the person who I end up having a child with, because you see the worst of people doing divorce. Once people decide to have divorce, you see the worst versions of people. Things you didn't even expect this person to ever do, and you see them doing, and you're like, you can't be this bitter. But divorce, for some reason, makes people bitter. So I've realized that whoever I'm going to have a child with, whether we are together or not, because half of the time you're going to shit knowing that I want this forever, right? That's what but you can, shit happens, you know, and forever sometimes it's just 2-3 years. So I am very
So
careful in that, because the father of my child will always be in my life, compared to an ex-husband if I don't have a child with. Once we divorce, you're no longer part of my life. But when you're up, the baby daddy, the father of my child, you're in my life forever. That means I
okay,
have to deal with you and your bullshit and everything. And that's why I'm very careful.
I got you. But the question, Miss Paula, I would ask you is
Sound like a politician.
yeah, but what would you take from your father into
That's what
the
I
person
check.
that
Be careful who you have a child with, because duh.
Oh, okay. Okay. Hey,
She
niggas
just told
insistent.
you it just
Boogie,
wasn't the way you expected it.
Yeah, I guess not, but thank you. Yeah. Y'all know I'm kind of slow. Hey, it's been a while.
It's okay. It's okay. You've been on vacation for a minute. We'll
Yeah,
let you
it's been a,
slide
that's from
tonight.
that's from
No
eating
need
I
to
dirt
got
when
you.
he
plead the
was a
cute
kid.
yet.
I got you. I got you. What about you, conspiracy brother?
Well, for me, I never had a father. I didn't meet my father. Well, talk to him until I was 22, and we didn't have an adult conversation until I was 44. So for me, watching TV dads was probably one of the closest experiences I had to seeing a father in the home, because I've been around a lot of great men who took care of their kids. All the men I was around took care of their kids, even if they weren't with the mother. So I got to see men who took their role seriously. And like even the men that my mother dated, like those men were men who took their role as a man and a father seriously. So seeing that on TV and seeing somebody portray that, it helped me to understand the characteristics of the type of dad that I would want to be and wouldn't want to be. So, things like that are needed for those of us who don't have that in our lives and don't get to see that on a daily basis. So especially in that type of situation where, it's almost a poverty situation. So to have that type of role model, I think that what he brought gave me personally, even though I didn't watch the Good Times a whole lot, I still was able to see that he was still there for his kids when he needed them and disciplined them, and hard when he needed to be, soft when he needed to be, when he could. So all of those things are things that I was able myself to take in and formulate the type of father that I wanted to be. So yeah, it was a lot of things that I took from it, especially not having that in my life at all. Not, like I to me, saying dad, daddy, all that shit it was uncomfortable until I became one. And even then, to say that word and to call my father, my dad, to even say that to me is still fucking difficult. It's like it's alien to me because I never had that until I was damn near my 40s. So like, it's a great role model. Any TV dad that portrays a role of something positive to give people who don't have that the outlook to say, okay, there's something different that I can become, is a great thing.
Okay, so let me ask you this, Miss Paula. I know you about to go the fuck off. I know this probably the first F word, and I said it. I know you about to go off. So I'm not gonna say it's stereotypical. I'm not gonna say the black father. I'm just gonna say father in general. So, Miss Paula, how do you feel when you hear women say that, hey, I don't need a man. He don't need a father in his life. He don't need it because I could do it all. So does that make those type of women look bad, or do they have a reason? I can understand the father could be doing something that he's not supposed to be doing, but to keep the father out of the kid's life, is that something that we should frown upon, or women should think twice about saying things like that?
They should think twice, and we should frown upon, because I believe, yes, you can do it all, but you can never be a man when your child wants a father or a father figure in his life. Just like how a father, my dad struggled with certain things with me because at the end of the day, I needed a mother, right? So however great you are, I'm not saying you can't be. You are great and amazing, and you can be, but they need both parents. And one thing my parents taught, what I learned from them is, I want a father as good enough as my dad. He wasn't amazing, he wasn't great, but he apologized and he did his best and he stuck around. And I learned from my mom what not to be me as a mother. I took the amazing things she was, but I also learned a lot from what she wasn't, for me not to be able to do that. And that's why sometimes I step back and I'm like, I'm not ready yet, because I know I could be selfish, and it's easy to be selfish, but you can't be selfish once you have kids. So, and the women or the men who say they don't need this, that's being selfish, because the child does need both.
I got you. Okay, let me drop a bomb. A bomb working? There it goes.
I got you. Here you go.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Thank you, Tim Dog.
Look at Tim
Your thoughts.
coming
He got thunder. There ain't no bomb. He got thunder.
Can we recognize the fact that Tim came in support to make sure I get a bomb in support of it? I'm just saying.
Thank you. We'll try it one more
The
time. Tim. Let
hurricane
me
needs
see.
to happen more.
Tim Dog, your thoughts of what I just asked Miss Paula, about women, since we talk about father figures now, when you hear women say, hey, I don't need the father in their life because I could do it on my own. even though the father may be, I'm not saying that he's the perfect father, but he may be doing things that he's not supposed to do, but he's trying to be in that kid's life or that child's life. And the mother say, hey, no, I'm not going to let that happen. Your thoughts about that?
For one, I think it's a mistake because you can, like Miss Paula said, you can't do it all. And when it comes a point in time in a man's life, he needs that father figure or that fatherly advice or that role model or whatever. And as far as a girl, the same thing with a woman. But for a woman to say that, they just bitter and taking it out on the child. And the child really is the one that's going to hurt from it because that child's not going to know their father. That child's not going to understand how to be, well, the how whoever their father is and get to know them. So no, I mean, if you're hurt or you're upset and you don't like the dad, oh well. But y'all have a child together, and that child deserves the right to know who his father is.
Okay. What you got to say about that conspiracy, brother?
Wait, can I add something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I just
Real
want to
quick.
say on top, real quick, like, I'm just going to say we should also give grace to the fathers who are actually trying. They might not be on their best or doing, but because, as you said, bitter women, sometimes women take out, oh, you want over the top, but they're still trying. They're there. Allow them to be there. Thank you.
All right, Dan. Oh, that's real short, too, bro. I thought I like my cigar. Get in the conspiracy,
For
brother.
me, like I said, like I knew who my father was. I knew his first name, I knew his last name. He knew me. He just made a choice to not be there, and it wasn't my mama keeping him from me. It was his choice, and like I said, we've had conversations about that, and like honestly, it was something that from my perspective now on how I see things, it's something that I needed to be who I am. Like sometimes you have to realize those situations are made to build you. Because honestly, if he would have been in my life, my life may have turned out differently. But who I am is part of the reason that he wasn't there, and it was for a reason. And once I understood that, like I accept him now. Like I have no issues, no grief. When I was 22, I couldn't talk to him. Like we said hello, and then we just sat there in silence for a few minutes till we was like, okay, well, it's good talking to you. Bye. So
Let me ask you this before
like,
me ask you this. Do you think that it was still anger that you felt inside of you towards him because he wasn't
yeah,
there?
yeah,
Sure.
a lot because I knew that he knew who I was. I knew all the choices that it's not like I said, my mama didn't keep nothing from me. I knew his name. I even met one of his brothers when I was 13. So I knew him. I knew of him. His family knew of me. It's just like, so
And that's the thing.
sometimes, people aren't ready for that responsibility. And you have to,
22 years.
give, I guess, like I said, it's good that they have people who are ready to take on those roles, even though it may be a small portion of that role for them to step in. So I don't even know what the fucking question was at this point. I'm just talking.
I'm just gonna
Get in this,
add.
because
brother. Let me ask you what to
because
say.
like I
Go
said,
ahead.
I'm just
I
gonna add.
understand,
You still going through your trauma.
the
You're working it out.
I'm
yeah,
not still gonna go. I'm gonna
Need
jump
some
in on that
therapy?
real quick,
Nah.
and that's why
I'm good on mine.
sometimes, right? It takes growth, right? Because at
Yes.
21, you don't
Mm-hmm.
understand whatever your parent is
Yeah.
telling you. Because sometimes we really want to hate them for not being there, but we also don't know what demons they were fighting. Because nobody teaches people how to be fathers or how to get into this, and we don't know the pressure they've had. But once you also become a father, or you get to that age where you are literally in the life mode, right? There's certain
Yeah,
things you start to understand way better. Yes, it still doesn't excuse, but you have a space in you to create that bond or to recreate and have those conversations compared to when you're 21. That's why growth is important, and that's why we emphasize on giving grace, because we are all learning as we go, to be honest. Like the way you were parented and the way I was parented are two different things, because at that time, different resources, different atmosphere, different every shit. So we are learning, and I think people need to just give each other more grace. And again, for those people who are holding out for stupid ass reasons, cut the shit out, because it's annoying, to be honest.
It's all about growth, man. All about both. Everyone has to grow to get to a point where you can understand their reasoning, even if it doesn't make sense to you. Because, like I say, when I was a child, I see all these other people with their fathers, even regardless of what type of relationship they had, they was still a relationship. So, I had to grow to a point where I could have, essentially just growth. So it's all about growing as a person for everybody.
Yeah, and I know for you, conspiracy brother, I know you say you knew his name and but every time you saw a man with a spot in his head, you was like, there goes my dad. That's my dad.
Oh, no, I'm an original. There's nothing like me.
I'm joking.
It's been too long for you, huh? You had to find some goddamn way, huh?
Yeah, I got to find.
You had to find some way.
But I'll go to co-sign what conspiracy brother say, because I really didn't know my dad as well. Seeing the fathers on television, that made me think about how I should be a father, and of course the way my mother raised me, and of course, like I always say, my stepdad. He's a wonderful man, because he stepped in and did what he wanted to do. And I was also like a conspiracy brother. I was, my mom probably told me that at that time, no, I didn't want to, but now he's gone. And the best thing that he ever left to me, and I'm gonna say this to the day I die, is my sisters and brothers, because I didn't know that I had other sisters and brothers when the sister that I raised up with died. So I thought I was all alone. So the best thing that he ever did for me was to give me my sisters and brothers. And not to try to pour water on a dead man's name, but like conspiracy brother say, he knew who I was. He knew my name. I wasn't a bad child. And I always say this, and I tell people that knows me, he missed out, because I turned out damn great. I turned out good looking, 6'2", 215 pounds.
The verdict's still out on that one, though. But we gonna ride with it tonight. You've been through a hurricane. You've been through a lot. We're gonna let it slide.
Let him have it for tonight. He's also sporting from his phone to be here. Let him have it for tonight.
Yeah. I would say this. But I think that he did try to reach out to his friends, because some of his friends would come up to me, and I don't know if I ever told the story to some of my Dallas fans, but RT, I'm talking about your dad. Your dad used to always come up to me, because your dad and my dad, Chelsea, your dad and my dad was real close. And every time I used to see him, man, he was always giving me money. So I think that was his type of way to say, hey, even though your dad can't be here, but he knows about you, so here's a couple of dollars for your pocket.
That might have been his thing. Your dad giving him some money, and he come and break you off just because he didn't want to. He wasn't man enough to step to you.
But like I say though, but those I remember. But Tim Dog, I'm gonna give you the final thoughts. About the situation dealing with mothers saying that, hey, and like I said before, my mother, she probably did say that, but at that time, I probably didn't want to hear it. I was probably still angry. I was probably still wondering where. And like I say though, I turned out great. 6'2", 220 pounds, good looking.
I feel like you just did this to repeat that shit. Like, are you selling yourself
Negro, please.
He deserves a nigga please right now, because the fuck?
Don, that's my partner, Don. You gonna get on that bed. Yeah, the verdict out on that statement. Okay, Don. My partner, Don, you get the please. No, you get the
No,
I
you
got me
get
Nah,
second
leave
button.
that.
Don alone.
There you go.
I know what he talking about. He
Man,
just
say
saying
you
that the
embarrassed.
jury ain't
Hey,
said nothing yet.
no, that's my partner, man. Hey, shout him out, man. I'm gonna shout my partner out, man. He lives down there outside of
You
Man,
Atlanta.
know,
they
you
should come
know,
Hey,
give us
man,
if
some
you
love,
live
he's a
in
man,
cop.
Mark.
Atlanta,
Hey,
saying
man, my
partner
boy.
just
Hey, thanks for
sounds.
tuning in, Don.
If you
To the
live
show,
in
dog.
Atlanta,
You a
saying your
police, Don?
partner
Well, this
is
is for you,
just
Don.
not right. You shouldn't be saying your partner when you live in Atlanta, because baby,
I
I'm
got
just
you.
saying.
No, that's
Your
thank you for
partner, okay, your
but,
partner.
that is one of my friends. That's one of my friends, one of my
No,
best
that's your
friends that
partner.
he got. Yeah, that's my partner. Yeah. But Paul, you get a
350.
Negro, please.
350.
Tim Dog.
Who the
I'm gonna
hell
give you a
is
final
that?
thoughts on that with Tim Dog. I'll give you a final thoughts
350.
on that, Tim Dog. But what
I
we
love
saying
the
about
police as long as they ain't harassing
about
me.
about mothers that try to keep the fathers out their life, and like I say, the children's life, and like I said before, some men are not doing the right thing. Some men are out here living wild. Some men are doing the wrong thing. But when mothers say things about, I guess, towards the kid about their father, is that right? Or your final thoughts?
We appreciate you, man. We appreciate that.
Man,
That's the type of people we need in this
Yeah,
world.
thank you.
More
Oh
people
man.
like this.
Yep.
I should be down there too, but it's a long drive and they got a lot of
Hey.
stuff in the way. I just couldn't make it.
Shoot. I don't
Now
have the
hit me up,
money
let
to
me know where you're gonna
donate.
be at.
I don't have the
Honesty. I like the honesty.
hey,
Mhm.
hey, I don't have the money to donate. I live too far to participate, and I'm too broke down to sanitate. So
All right. Well, give me your final
I'll give
thoughts
you
on
an
what I just
hour of
said.
comedy
I have a
and
bed
have
for
fun.
any hot guy looking to lay his head for a few nights.
I got you. You're so silly. Go ahead, Tim Dog. Your final
The
thoughts
hell?
on what we're talking about.
Like Miss Paula said, you never know the situation or why a mother would say that to their child, and like the alchemist, aka conspiracy brother, aka well, anyway, you harbor feelings when you keep the child away, and then when the father is there, the child develops harbor feelings against the dad because he's not participating. See, it's like a double-edged sword. So don't choose the wrong path for your child. Let your child choose that path themselves if they want to speak to the dad. Don't make the decision for them because it could backfire.
Okay, I like that. We're gonna keep this moving along. I don't have a video about it, just have a question. This is my partner, my homeboy, Miss Paula, she calling me out. This is my homeboy.
Hey,
Hey, your
hey,
partner is your partner.
She,
Who are we to
we know what
hate
you're
on your
saying. We know what you're
yeah,
partner?
saying.
we got you. We got you. Ain't no Diddy here.
She ain't
Yeah, it's
true
okay,
from the
yeah.
South. She live in the
Ain't
South,
no
but she
Diddy
ain't
here.
from the South.
Yeah.
Okay,
So we
all
know
right.
what you're saying, man. Do what you do. Since your partner said what he had to say, we know he ain't
Yeah.
talking about no
Why did you say
partner.
the
Nobody
He talking
partner?
business.
about
Yeah. But
partner.
Nobody
Brian, why
business.
That type of
Nobody
Brian,
partner.
business.
the way you said the partner.
Barbecue.
Well,
we here to teach
since you brought it
everybody,
up, man, the cleanup. And I'm gonna come to you first, conspiracy brother, because I knew I don't know if you was there, but I know your brother was there during Hurricane Katrina, and that was a humongous goddamn tragedy that happened down in New Orleans, and to see the trauma that and the I would say devastation too is not to the extent of Hurricane Katrina. It could never be to that extent. When you heard, or better yet, when you talked to your brother-in-law and he told you what was going on, what was the first thing that went through your mind? And were you there during Katrina, or were you in the Army at that time?
Now, I was out. I was about to take a job out there, actually, but that didn't end up going through. That whole thing got washed away.
I'm not gonna drop a bomb on that one today. Go ahead, man.
It's just popped in my head, so I had to say it. It was funny to me. Yeah, but man, when this was happening, like I went back to that moment of not being able to reach anyone, and I felt felt so much empathy for the people who couldn't reach their family, because my neighbor right down the street, his parents are they don't have no roads. They don't got no access to them because they stay like right on the border of North Carolina and Tennessee, so they have no access to nothing. So when he was telling me about his experience not being able to reach his family, like I felt that shit because I was in the same boat, like calling just do 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 do. So like, man, that shit's crazy. And now, like they said, they was able to get through a Facebook group. So now, you know, with technology and having so many different access routes for people, but it's just like, yeah, that shit's crazy not having access to people you love in that time where you know that they need you and you can't do shit because you can't do shit for real.
I got you. Miss Paula, you was in Atlanta. Yeah, I think it hit Atlanta pretty hard. I think one of my coworkers, she's supposed to go down to Atlanta to a concert, and then I saw some parts of Atlanta was flooded. So what was your
I
experience
got washed away
that
too.
yeah, what was some of your experience that you went through? You know, hopefully your family members probably trying to get in contact with you, and they're probably worried, you know, like, damn, you know, making sure that you're okay. So what was your thoughts going through Hurricane Helene?
Actually, no fucking family member of mine worried about me apart from my uncle, my dad's brother. And when I called my dad, I was like, "How's your brother worried about me and you're not?" He's like, "Well, what happened?" I was like, "The hurricane." "Well, I know, but what did you want me to do?" I'm like, "Well, if I was flooding,"
Your
he's
dad's
like,
a
"Well,
thug.
your phone wouldn't be reachable either way. So what did you want me to
I'm,
do?"
I'm laughing at the way
I
you
was
telling the
like, "You
story.
know what?"
I'm laughing at the way you telling the story. I'm laughing at the way you tell the story. Okay.
Oh, look at him
I was
already.
like, "You know what? Your brother still checked on me." I was like, "Well, I did call you and you said you're on a plane," because I still went to North
Okay.
Carolina on Sunday for a
Okay.
funeral, and because of how certain parts of North Carolina were worse, I expected maybe the flight would be canceled, but the flight was on time, and I came back the same day, and I was able to go to my funeral. But other parts were worse. My building, we
You was
have
able to go to
had.
your friend's funeral, not your
Oh
funeral,
yeah,
to your friend's funeral.
would I be
You
here
say
if it was
you
my funeral?
no, you
In
say you
spirit,
got to go
you
to your
would.
funeral. I'm just making
I
sure
said
to
I was
your
going to my
friend's funeral.
friend's funeral.
Okay, all right.
Oh my god.
They do things different in Africa. They rocking a whole different way. They bring that
Okay,
shit back. She back.
you say
She
I got
back.
back.
I went to my friend's funeral in North
Okay, yeah, I saw
Carolina.
it on Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw it on Facebook. I saw it on
Okay,
Facebook.
yeah. But
Yeah. Okay.
downtown, which is not far from me, my friends live in a condo and she was sending me videos that she's happy that she lives on the top of the condo because it was flooding.
She said she
Cars
live
were
what?
flying
Hey
all the
friend.
way.
Top the condo friend. Yeah, y'all ain't listening. She said top. Nigga, you got to
But
have money,
it's
friend.
amazing how a lot of people lost power, a lot of people lost shit. I know our storages got flooded and some people's buildings got, but I'm blessed. Nothing in our apartment got. We didn't get flooded. We didn't lose power. I was
Your
good. And I
condo.
said, I was, and as I
Oh,
said,
you
I
in
was able
Kanye.
to travel.
Stop breathing.
I was able
Oh, you
to
breathing.
travel on Sunday and come back, and I'm safe. So grateful.
I'm glad to hear that. Glad to hear that. Yeah, Don, I saw that. I
Stop
saw that as
breathing.
well. That explosion that y'all
Yeah.
had, that chemical explosion. That was kind of crazy too. Oh
Oh,
man,
yeah.
glad to see
Yeah,
that you didn't have much damage,
oh,
man. What
I
about you,
got
Tim
something to
Dog?
ask
I
you
know.
about to get some conspiracies.
Yeah, I know that you got family back this way. But what was your thoughts when you heard about if you try to get in contact with somebody and you couldn't get in contact with them? And like I said, I'm not saying that Hurricane and Lean. A lot of people did. I think it's up to like 100, about 120 people so far that lost their lives. Well, I know way more
200
people lost
still
their lives.
missing.
Yeah, a lot of people still missing. So
Mhm.
like I said, I'm not trying to compare hurricane to hurricane, but this
This
situation
is the
feels
biggest
like
that we
a
have seen
yeah.
since.
Yeah,
That thing way
it
bigger than
feels like a
Katrina.
Hurricane Katrina. But that's what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to, compare the two. That's what I'm trying to say. But Tim Dog, your thoughts on Hurricane Helene and the effect that it had on the people in this area?
Um, my heart goes out to the people who lost someone who can't find anyone. Me being the person that I am, sometimes it's kind of hard to look at the news and hear the things that are going on, only because if it would happen to me, I wouldn't know how to react to it as well. Um, it's sad that we, the most advanced, people on earth, but yet we have idiots who don't even think that the weather is changing on its own for no reason.
220
They don't
people.
believe in climate change. So I,
Yeah.
I really, really wish that there was some way we could, build, stronger buildings or higher buildings, something, so that we can counter, the effects of Mother Nature, or not
Nature ain't
counter
gonna
it,
be
but
stopped.
no, I'm not stop it. I didn't say
That's
stop
with
it,
the help of
but
the government.
no, I'm just trying to, before we had houses, we lived in caves and straw buildings. You develop and you become better at at your survival. But now, you know, there are forces that we cannot comprehend, but yet people are ignoring just because they can. They don't care. It doesn't affect them. And like we said on the show before, most people won't do anything until it does affect them. So
Yeah.
uh,
And,
it's
and
just really sad.
I like what you're saying. Me ask the Pharaoh question. Pharaoh, I don't have Wi-Fi. I'm using my phone as a hotspot. So I'm using my phone internet as a hotspot. That's how I'm able to get on
Wait,
tonight.
Pharaoh is here?
Yeah, he just sent a message right there.
Yeah,
See right there?
223. Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
He said, but like I say though, it's a shame. It's a shame because when I look at the news and like everybody say, I forget the one town. They show a picture of the town before, and then they show a picture after, and you can see everything was just wiped away by flood in North Carolina. And it's a shame that a lot of people are using this as a political stunt. A lot of people are using this to try to cherry pick, you know, why the FEMA's not doing this, why FEMA's not doing that, but this is not the time for me for people to be doing things like that. Everything should be catered to the people that are out there that can't find their loved ones, that can't, don't have electricity. Oh, Asheville. Okay.
Asheville, yes.
Okay. Yeah, thank you,
Yeah,
thank you,
Asheville.
thank you.
Appreciate
Oh, that's
you.
my other part. I got to make sure I say something right. You remember Mac? Was Mac there when you was there? That Mac. I want to say my other
Yeah, I
partner, but
remember.
Paula, Paula, she done got on me
Man,
about calling
don't
people
let
about
Paula
Paula.
talk you out of saying your slang, man.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm not
Yeah.
that bad. I
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah.
Come on, call your partner out. Be proud of your partner.
Or you better leave
Yeah.
that Mint Mobile alone. That's why your ass can't get no hotspot. You got Mint Mobile. It ain't meant for your ass to have nothing but a shirt on, nigga.
Is that
I'm
your
done.
funny?
Oh man.
You don't see why this shit's so shady? Wasted shit
but-
like here in California.
Yeah, but with all seriousness, this is a time. This is not the time for people to try to make the other side look bad about what they didn't do or whatever they didn't vote for. This is the time for everybody to basically try to. What?
Not that type of partner.
Thank you.
Not that type of partner. This type.
No Diddy, no
That
Diddy
type.
here. No Diddy here.
That type.
No Diddy here.
Not that type. That type.
Yeah.
That type. God damn it. We gotta spell this shit out for her. Spell it.
Thank you.
That's all it's about.
Like I said, we get serious again. But like I said, this is the time for everybody to come together and help their neighbor, because some people don't have family. Just like you saying, on Conspiracy Brother, he couldn't get in contact with his family members, your neighbor, but hopefully he had somebody, his family had somebody close to that they could depend upon. They was able to work, situation out until he was able to get in contact with them. So our prayers go out to everybody that lost someone, that's still looking for someone. And, like I said before, I don't want this to be a political type of thing. And that's what it shouldn't be. This is the time when, if you call yourself an American citizen, or if you just call yourself a good person, you want to help your neighbor and, come through this situation. Because like I said before, being without power. You didn't realize how crazy it is just to flip on a light. And I didn't have power. I was going to a room still flipping the thing, and nothing would happen. Think that the light is gonna come on. You know what I'm saying?
Boy,
And not having the
put you in an
internet.
experiment.
Hey, before we close this out, though, Miss Paula, so you had your internet and power and everything.
I
You
had
lost
everything,
anything?
baby. Nothing.
Ah,
I
man,
was
you gonna
Gucci over
tell you.
here chilling with my bad
We need to
boys,
get y'all.
They got
and
a
I
super
still
y'all
made
noise
my
goddamn
flight, and I
generator.
went and I came
Hmm?
back, and everything was good on my end.
Yeah, you need to
Apart
get
from
Yeah, I
my
your
bet
dad
it
goddamn
worrying
was.
about me. Apart from my
Hey,
dad
hey,
worrying about me.
I got you. I'm about to
Mm-mm-mm.
call you up because I got Verizon, and that's how I'm using my
Oops.
hotspot. You just say you don't know how to
Ooh,
use your
Verizon,
hotspot.
holla at us. Verizon, y'all
I
better
got
holla at us.
I
I'm
got
signing y'all out. Y'all
Verizon,
ain't paid
and
that
I'm
shit.
using
That's
and
it.
I'm using
Hey,
Verizon
stop saying it
hotspot
ain't.
right now. You might not have the hotspot
Stop
in
saying
your
it ain't.
plan. You
Nah,
have to
they
get
ain't
it in
put
your
that shit
plan.
on.
With
You
your
know what I'm
Don't
saying?
plan.
sponsor their ass.
Look, he's still
We
being
deadbeat
charged by the
dads over
minute.
here when
But
it comes to
but
sponsorship.
if
We
you
deadbeat
have an
dads.
iPhone, don't
We
you
ain't
just
sponsoring
have the
shit for free.
hotspot
We
already?
deadbeats.
Mm-hmm.
Or are you is he
But
Android?
huh?
Don't say
Oh,
that neither.
oh,
Ow.
oh, she said
Oh,
T-Mobile.
Whoa,
Okay, then well,
it's the
T-Mobile.
same
Okay, I
thing.
got T-Mobile there.
whoa.
Well, I got T-Mobile. T-Mobile. Oh yeah, it's the same thing. All right,
Hey,
thank you.
hey,
Look,
Yeah,
ain't none of
he
these
said
people
oh
you
man,
paying
got.
us for saying their
The
name.
missus had to
that's
put you
right.
on
Yeah,
the one and two.
we ain't getting no goddamn.
The missus say, babe.
Yeah.
Oh
And
my
But in
hashtag
all
God.
all these
seriousness,
companies.
yeah, all these companies, yeah, you need to get our money though. But that's my thing though. So Miss Paula, you could stay out this conversation because you had all your lights and shit. But if you ever been in a situation when you had no lights for more than
I
a damn
mean,
day,
you're
man,
forgetting there's
I
one
didn't.
time when my lights went off, the transformer went off while I was live, and I had to take a torch and put on me. Like, I've had no
Oh,
lights
damn,
before,
sure did.
okay?
Oh yeah, I did
Eh,
remember that. I did
that
remember
happened
that. I
on
did
live,
remember that.
literally.
Yeah, I did remember that. I did remember that. But my
For how
thing is though,
long
do we
though?
take?
For how long?
All night until the next day.
Oh, the whole next day when the sun comes up and you got a whole another
Ooh.
I
7-8
woke up
hours
to
of
the AC
sunlight.
blowing. It's not my fault. It only lasted that short. You can't hate on me for that. I still experience motherfucking
Okay.
shit, okay?
I got
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Let me ask you this though. Do we since you know technology, because growing up, I'm gonna show my age. Growing up, we didn't have the internet. Internet what 2000? Early 90s, right? Late 90s, 2000s, the internet really
It
popped
was in
off.
the 90s.
But
'Cause
about
I
late
remember
90s though. But I mean, yeah, but what I'm saying is, but it wasn't so
noise.
it wasn't the thing like it is now. Like my whole house, everything in my house runs by Wi-Fi. I don't have no cable, nothing. Everything is Wi-Fi. So now the
That's
Wi-Fi is
lazy
out.
shit. That's lazy shit.
No,
No, that's called
that's
balling.
easy shit.
No, just because
That's
technology is there doesn't mean you should abuse it. That's what I'm saying. That's lazy
Well,
shit. You
I'm taking
chose
advantage
to
of it.
have
But
Alexa do this, to have the
oh my God.
flash lights.
I don't
Come
have Alexa do
on,
that either.
clap,
I'm just
clap,
saying
clap,
everything is basically
clap.
run by Wi-Fi. But I realized that you just said this, Miss Paula. I realized that I'm very dependent on
Once it
technology.
gone, it gone.
So am I the only one that feels that way, that they're hooked on technology? Conspiracy brother, you go first.
Nah, I still try and keep a grasp on reality for shit like this, because you never know when. Like, look, I write everything I do before I put it onto a computer or anything. I write that shit down, because you never know when this shit gonna not be working. So I think
I got you.
you have to have that. Like, ain't nothing in this bitch connected to Wi-Fi besides the goddamn phones and laptops. Because just like you say, your ass was in that bitch like a goddamn gorilla in the motherfucking mall. Like, So yeah, I'm gonna try
Man,
and stay
fuck you.
grounded.
Fuck you. See, but internet fucking up now. See, I'm talking shit.
Like
Internet fucking up.
what are them air balloons that be flying like this?
Yeah,
in that
that's
T-Mobile limit.
T-Mobile.
Goddamn it, you better hurry up. We got one more
Everybody
minute before we
hurry
gotta restart this bitch.
Tim Dog, what
Mm,
you thought? Are
mm.
we too dependent on I guess everything the way that's going now? You know, like I said before, growing up,
Yeah.
you older than me.
Yeah.
Shit, y'all had the what the telegraph thing? You had to hit the
He
button.
was the one that made the wheel.
Oh, y'all.
The telegraph shit.
Hey, yeah, I'll
Nah,
say
he
no
started with the
because
smoke. He started with the smoke fires, the
The smoke
SOS and shit.
signal.
That was him.
The smoke
Why
signal.
you think he's so brown? That next thing goddamn fire.
Go ahead, Tim Dog. Are we too?
started Pony Express and I rode your mama. So
Okay, okay. Ooh, goddamn. Are we too? I'm stuck on this new way of living. You know, all these electronics and everything. Tim Dog.
oh yeah, because and when we had the winter storm, 2021, and shit just froze up and
I
we were out
remember
of
that too.
power. Yeah, and people couldn't do anything, couldn't communicate, and you're forced to, be primitive and lighting fires and things like that. But I mean, technology, it's just there. I mean, if you don't use it, then you can't survive. I mean, nowadays, when you think about it. So I would say, yeah.
Okay. What about you, Miss Paula? Are we hooked on technology?
I don't know who is we, but me, no. I am I am old school.
Negro, please.
I read
Thank you.
books, I write notes. Even when I send DocuSigns for people to sign their release forms, I have a folder where I print and put on hold. Like I print pictures and put on my wall because I've been in places where I've lost things digitally and you can't get them back. So I always have a copy of. I'm old school. Yes, I did grow up in when AOL just started, but I was also the person who loved writing letters, pen pals. I still write letters to my friend. I still send postcards. I still send cards because that's something I just love. And I feel like, yeah, you can send that shit and it expires in 30 days. But something like, so I enjoy the technology, but I still have backups just with the technology. That's why I always have make sure my shit is charged because once the power is gone, you're stuck. And we are
Yeah.
so dependent on everything that
Yeah.
I don't even walk with a wallet because my phone has the wallet and all my cards. But if my phone dies, I lose everything, even the key to enter my house because I have the scan the code and you can put your pin and enter the home. So you always have to make sure you have backups because you never
She
know.
hooked. She printing out pictures. You use technology for that.
Yeah, I print. I literally am the person who still goes to FedEx and print, who still prints paper, who still has files and buys those notebooks and file
But
orders.
that's still using technology.
No, but what I'm saying is, if technology, the Wi-Fi doesn't work today, I have backups.
Mm-hmm.
Do you?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
But
Basically what you,
Back it up then, Juvie.
if I understand what you're saying is that, if technology was like for me, if technology goes down right now, I'd probably be lost. And I grew up in a time when we didn't have that technology because I'm so dependent on it. But you're basically saying is that if it was to go out, it's not a big deal to you because you would find another way to make sure that things. And I understand what you're saying
because there
a
was
lot
one
of people.
point I lost my phone and I couldn't log into any shit
how you gonna get
because
money?
every security I scan my phone, my face, right? So I forgot the passwords and I couldn't log on to any shit on my laptop or anything because my phone, I just scanned. So I had to start like, okay, I'm gonna write shit down. I'm gonna have.
That's not technology. That's your brain. You can't remember.
I'm just saying, yeah, whatever it is. But when technology goes, you can't do shit. That's it.
That's right. That's right. I like that. It's the changing times. We are no more dependent than previous times, but we have lost the fine art of personal communication.
Exactly.
I like that. And that's my partner Don right there too, Miss Paula.
You gotta keep it. You gotta keep it alive yourself, man. That's what it comes down to us. If we ain't keeping it alive,
you can't use a landline in a car.
Yeah. But like I
still
say
can
before,
have
I
a
might,
landline in
hey,
your house.
I might go get me a landline, but I don't know how much you can do. But thank y'all, man. Great conversation
Got a
tonight. Great
long-ass
conversation
cord.
tonight. And yes, we will be doing an asked out. Yeah, my internet, it
Oh,
lasted
you're
this
in the
long.
mood now.
Yeah,
You're in
no,
the mood now.
I'm in the mood now because hey, we gonna
Uh-oh.
do an asked
Uh-oh.
out. But
You
like
remember, Tim?
everybody,
You said we were gonna do 2 in
Yeah,
1.
man, we got to. I got some
yeah, I was
shit.
gonna
I
combine
got
it,
some
but
shit
we're
to
gonna
talk
do an
about.
asked out. Yeah, no, I ain't got something to talk
That's
about, man.
cool.
But my internet holding up strong.
cool.
I haven't when I go back and watch the replay, I might see the lagging, but I don't see the lagging now. So
Only
No,
but
you're
one
I'm
not
gonna
time
thank
really
you
everybody.
lagging.
lag,
Your
but
shit
you've
just
been
wavy.
good. Only one time you
Yeah,
Your
lag,
shit
you've
just
been
wavy
good.
as fuck.
yeah. So I want
Looking
to
like a
thank
lightning
everybody
strike.
for tuning in. Yeah, I want to thank everybody for tuning
Looking
in
like
and
Will
enjoying
Smith on
this.
Aladdin and shit.
I want to thank everybody for tuning in to this. Not a special,
The
but
young genie.
I'll come back. I'll come back episode of Two Cigars in a Blunt. But like we always like to do before we go, we like to give you something to think about, something to think about, something funny or something you be saying, what the hell Tim Dog got that from? So Miss Paula, what you got for the people today?
So I'm gonna say one thing, right? I'm a rebel with a cause, and what that means is, even if I have to ride by myself, I stick to the shit I believe in, and so should you.
Mm.
I got you.
Tim
I got
Dog.
you.
Tim Dog. Oh, my bomb didn't go off. Okay, that's right. That's all right then. Tim
And
Dog,
Tim
what you
is
got for the people?
committed tonight. I
I
love
know.
this.
Tim Dog, what you got for the people before we go?
What I got for the people for today is that Lexington, excuse me, Lexington, Mississippi is being investigated by the Department of Justice for actually the police department of Lexington, Mississippi is being investigated by the Department of Justice for civil rights violations of minorities in that town. And, you know, it is 2024. And I'm sure these dumbass cops done seen other cops get locked up and do time for stupid shit like what they're doing. And there's no excuse. There's no, as a police officer, you're supposed to serve and protect. And it goes back to our conversations of months before about the KKK putting recruits into the police department so they can legally whoop a black person's ass. And it is sad. It hurts when you can't see the difference in someone treating someone with respect than treating someone who is a piece of garbage. And for the officers in Lexington, Mississippi, I pray that I just pray that no one treats your family the same way you're treating others.
There go my neighbor. With his goddamn motorcycle. Every damn time I get on, they bring the motorcycle. I like that, Tim Dog. Here comes Conspiracy Brother. What you got for the people before we go?
Oh, man, I just want to tell y'all, man, that I have opportunity. I've been blessed with opportunity that I got my kombucha into a store. Well, it's not really a store; it's a community center. Community Center 729 here in Orlando. The guy Dave, he's had it, and he invited me for him to sell it in his shop, and I really appreciate him for the opportunity to just have something that I created. Being in a place that I frequent quite often because I go there for fire meditation on Thursdays, but I hadn't been in a while. But I'm gonna get back to that. But I just appreciate the opportunity that he gave me. He didn't have to, and I just appreciated that. So if you're in the Orlando area, come get you some. You still get it from me, but you go there and get it too.
Okay, that's what I'm talking
Community
about.
Center 729, man. It's a great place to go. Check it out. I
Right.
appreciate it.
And all I'm going to say is this. All I'm going to say is to everybody that's going through a certain situation during this time of need, crisis, hey, depend on your neighbors. Hopefully you got a structure that can help you through this situation and you're not by yourself. And that's all the man on the street going to say. Hey, I ain't got really much. Shit. I'm about to tear up. Shit. Not me. But before we go, Miss Paula P, shout out to social that people can follow you.
At Talk Shit with P. Anywhere and everywhere you can find me at Talk Shit with P. Like
And tell them about the
show.
thing you got coming back in October again. Tell them about that, because you be doing a show in October from there.
Yeah, I'll be in Baltimore 18th to the 20th of October for Afros and Audios, and my panel is on Sunday. It's an African diaspora panel, and we are excited because we are all originally from Africa with African roots. And we're going to tell our stories. So come hang out with us. And if you use the code PS24AFAU, you get 10% off your ticket. And I'm excited to meet Tim.
And you see how I did that? So how I did that, Miss Paula? See, I asked you at the end of the show, not like you did your partner. When you had your guys on, y'all was talking. You asked the guy in the beginning of the show. See, I asked you at the end. So you see how I did that?
What do you mean I asked which guy in the beginning?
The two guys. You had the two guys on there, and you asked the guy to talk about what y'all got.
Oh yeah, no, that was at the end when he told me to shout out my socials. I diverted it back to him. So you see, next time before you speak some shit, actually go watch the shit before you say.
No. You asked him. You asked him to talk about
in the beginning of the show. If you'd have actually watched the video, you would have known it was towards the end.
Well, my internet was cutting out.
Asking me about our socials.
My internet was cutting out. Thank you for that.
This is
Thank
what
you, Ms.
happens
Paula, for
when
shouting
you
that out.
interfere conversations that don't belong to you.
To you.
Oh,
exactly. So Tim, no, shout out to social so people can follow you.
You follow me at Father's Love 99 Instagram. It's all about me, my son, and my grandson.
All right, Conspiracy Brothers. Shout out to social people can follow you.
What is that? Solar Expression. There you go.
You got it right
YouTube,
that time.
Instagram, TikTok. Because I've been practicing. When people talk, my brother said, before you get to your shot, man, you start moving your shit so you can figure out where you at. So y'all ain't see me. I was like, that way, go that way. Yeah, I listen.
Proud of you.
I listen.
Thank you.
Man.
Y'all don't
hear that man, Professor? He listened to you. Wish you could
Yeah, that's right. And of course, you can find me at the Audacity Podcast on YouTube, Creative Cannabis Expression YouTube as well. You also find us every Wednesday night, hopefully every Wednesday night, for the Better Than Sex Sports Podcast, where we only talk about sports. And then, of course, find us every Friday night for what? 2 Cigars and a Blunt. But now, ladies and gentlemen, we about to have an after show following this in about 10 minutes. So make sure you come back, and that's where everybody on this panel get a chance to talk about what they want to talk about, and hopefully we have a good goddamn time. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I am the man on the street.
Tim Dog from Be More Careful.
Paula from Talk Shit with P.
Man, I don't even know who I am this evening, so holla at your boy. You see it on the screen.
At your boy.
Figure it out.
I ain't say this in a while, but spoke them if you got them. And with that, we are out.